Hello, sports card collectors and investors. I hope everybody is having a great Sunday. Today I'm going to hit on a topic that, I think that a lot of guys, especially in my age group, that 35 to 50-year-old age group, I'm 39, can relate to this. My wife has been recently coming to me and just, making some comments and just outwardly saying, she's Italian, so she's not afraid to speak her mind. But saying, is this thing kind of, are you going through a midlife crisis? I've just noticed some things over the last, couple of years that, are a little different. And to be honest, I think that there might be some merit to it. I'm going to go through some reasons why I think that could be true. And I'm also going to talk about why I don't think it's a bad thing. So first off, for those people that are new to my channel, to give you just a background, I started collecting sports cards and comic books back in 1987. And so I started out with mainly football cards and baseball cards, and then I got more into basketball cards as I developed a passion for the game of basketball. That was kind of my outlet as I played basketball as a kid. And so basketball cards, especially with the rise of Jordan and all of the late 90s, the late 80s sets picking up steam, and just sports cards in general being really hot back then. That's what kind of moved me into basketball cards as well. So I started out collecting in the late 80s, and that was my first intro into business. I negotiated cards with my buddies, traded cards with my buddies, and then the dealers were kind of that was the true lesson back then, because as a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid dealing with grown men, trading cards and having to negotiate it out, I lost pretty much every single time. But those are lessons that were great lessons to learn, and it's carried over and kind of helped through. It's helped me through my life. So although I didn't necessarily get a bunch of great deals at the sports card store, when I was bringing in cards for trade or for sale, that doesn't mean that it was a bad experience at all. I really enjoyed it, and when I look back, I think that's part of what's drawn me back into it as an almost 40-year-old man now. So to break into just kind of where I've gotten, over the last couple of years, maybe some of the purchases that I've made that could mean that I am hitting that midlife crisis. I'll first start with when I was 13 years old, in 1994, the Jordan 9s came out, the basketball shoes. I played a lot of basketball. So for me, and just to kind of give you a little bit of insight for those that are younger, those shoes were $125 retail in 1994. So, and you think about, inflation and everything else, that was an expensive basketball shoe back then. But it's everything that I wanted, and that was my big birthday present that year, is a pair of Jordan 9s, and they were the black and white ones. So I purchased these on eBay, and these are Jordan 9s. Now, they remade these in 2010, I believe, is when they brought them back out. So these are the 2010 or 2015 version. They're not the ones from 1994, but if you look too on the bottom of these, 1994. So that's how you know that they're Jordan 9s. But and I really like, kind of on the back, you can see too, they've got the number, and then they've also got the cool emblem here. So anyway, nerding out a little bit. I'm not a shoe collector. I'm not a sneaker flipper or anything like that, but those were the shoes back then. So that was one of my purchases. Now, my buddy Drew had the same shoes, but he had the UNC version of the shoes. So I found these on eBay, same sort of thing. So same style, Air Jordan 9s. They're just the light baby blue version. So he had that pair. Of course, I was not going to be able to afford two pairs, or my parents were not going to be able to afford two pairs of these when I was 13. So I picked these up too on eBay. They're fairly reasonable. And again, these are the remakes. These are not the originals from 1994, but they look and feel, and they're pretty much exactly the same shoe. So I was excited to get those. I've also picked up in the last couple of years Spawn number 1. This is the newsstand edition, so it's more rare because it went directly just to retailers. And so the print run on this one is a lot lower. But I wasn't a massive comic book collector, but I did really like Image Comics and Spawn. I've talked about that in other videos, so I picked that up as well. And then I also picked up a set going back to my roots. 1989 Score Football was the hot set. It was super expensive even in 1989. It was around that same time that 89 Upper Deck Baseball came out, and packs of 89 Upper Deck Baseball were now $1.50 and $2 a pack, which I know in today's standards seems like insanely low, but $1.50, $2 a pack back then was very, very high. Now, to give you an idea, 89 Score Football, the retail was probably $1, $1.50 a pack, but the card shops didn't sell it for that. The card shops sold the packs for anywhere, I think on the low end, $3.50 a pack, as high as $5 a pack. And the reason why that set was so iconic, was first off, the style of the card is a little different. It's cool. It's a high gloss card. It's not just a regular cardboard card. And then of course it's got Troy Aikman rookies, Deion Sanders, Barry Sanders. It's got Hall of Fame players, rookies in that set that are highly collectible. And of course I saw now, Barry Sanders PSA 10 rookie cards are now going for almost $1,000, which to me is wild, but awesome too. So I also purchased a 1989 Score, a full complete set of Score, 89 Score Football, and I've got that. I'll see if I can pull that out. I don't know if I have that. I'm going to see if I can pull that out. So another part of what I'm doing with this video is I'm going to open 3 packs of 89 Fleer basketball as well. So that's coming later in the video. Stick around, and I'm trying to pull Jordans, and I figured with The Last Dance coming to an end tonight, in honor of that, I'm going to open some 89 Fleer basketball and see if I can pull a PSA 10, hopefully Michael Jordan card, as well as some of the other stuff. So stick around for that. But just going back to the midlife crisis conversation, I want to talk with people about it because I also want to get feedback from you all if you feel the same way as if you might be going through midlife crisis with sports card investing, getting back into it. And let me just say, and part of the reason why I made this video is I think that we need to stop judging ourselves so much about this stuff and just embrace the stuff that we love. If you have a passion for something, whether it's sports cards or comic books or Beanie Babies or Pogs or video games, whatever you're collecting, investing in, you have to go with it. You have to go with what you want and live your life. Everyone is always so worried, and I was for a long time. I still am to some degree. Everybody is worried about what other people think, but it's become less and less as the years have gone on. And over the last couple of years, I'm pretty much to the end where I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to do what I'm passionate about doing and what I love doing, because you only do live one time. I know this is probably Gary V preaching stuff, but Gary V, if you haven't checked out his stuff, and I didn't get back into sports cards because of Gary V, that was just kind of a sidebar of what kind of attracted me to his content, is he just so happened to also be around my age and had collected sports cards as a kid, so I could relate to that. But a lot of what he talks about is, we just don't find our passion, and we just keep on kind of going through life doing what we think others want us to do, or what could make others like us, or whatever. And it's just a tough way to live. And then, of course, when you're 90 years old, you don't want to be looking back and saying, man, I wish I had done this or done that. So I'm going all in with sports card investing. It's something that I've always loved, and it's something that as you kind of you come into adulthood, and you have a family, and there's other priorities. Of course, those things take priority, but you can't lose everything about yourself, as you go through the process. I know that, when I was 11, my parents got divorced, and so the game of basketball and sports cards and the comic books and that sort of stuff, that was a great outlet for me at the time, just to kind of deal with those sorts of things and to work through them as a kid, when a lot of it's confusing and you don't really know what to make of it. So a lot of great years, though, in my childhood were collecting and trading sports cards with my buddies, and I think that we all kind of look back to our childhood to some degree and look for that happiness, kind of, there's those happy times that you want to hold on to, and it's like, there's some really good things that come of that. So I wouldn't shy away from it. If it's something that you're passionate about, whether that be something from your childhood or something you caught on to 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or yesterday, I think that that's going to be the most important thing, is just to follow that passion and to drive it home. And I think that living any other way, I think is tough. And so I don't shy away from the midlife crisis. For me, it's almost like an awakening. It's you're becoming reborn again, or however you want to, call it. I don't think that it's a negative term at all, really. I think it's part of just figuring out yourself, figuring out what your passions are, and then building off of those things, and really enjoying your life. Like I said, as we all know, you only get one shot at this thing. You only get one life. So we have to make the most of it, and that's what I'm shooting for, and that's what I'm going for. And I know a lot of you all are too, because there's a lot of people getting back into the hobby. And so I want to hear from you guys too. Let me know what you think on this topic. It's interesting to me, kind of what got you back into sports cards. Was it something that you were into as a kid? Is it something you've just recently gotten into just for investment purposes because you've heard people are making money? No judgment at all. It's really just kind of, it is what it is, and I want to get feedback from my audience and hear more and learn from you all as well. Open up that discussion. So I'm going to move now. I'm going to try to figure out my camera angles and stuff, and I'm going to open up 3 packs of 1989 Fleer basketball. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay guys, actually first, before I open these packs, let me show you this 89 Score football set that I bought. So this is a binder that I just bought off of eBay maybe 2 years ago, and it's a complete set of 89 Score football. There's glitter on it from my daughter. Thanks a lot. All right, so, and I'm not sure if these are numbered 1 to however, but it gives you a good idea of kind of, what the set looks like. There's a Bo Jackson, Montana. This is going to seem kind of funny, but this guy right here, Bubby Brister, was the man when I was a kid. Warren Moon, Marino, so a bunch of huge, big names obviously, but Bubby Brister was a guy that me and my buddies used to always trade for. There's a Michael Irvin rookie. The man Bruce Smith. So anyway, I won't go through the whole set, but I just wanted to give you, just kind of an overview of what I was talking about earlier with that 89 Score football set. Okay guys, we are rolling, and as promised, I've got 3 packs of 1989 Fleer basketball here. Whew, I'll be perfectly honest, I am a little nervous. I don't typically open packs. I haven't opened a pack in years. I buy already graded cards or raw cards, so I buy singles mainly. Well, primarily. And I know this isn't necessarily opening 86 Fleer, but to me this is still really cool. I want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers, Chris, for sending me these packs for this video in particular. I appreciate you. And yeah, I'm a little taken aback here, but I'm a little emotional, I guess, or just kind of nervous. So, all right. So the 2 cards that I'm looking for, the number 1 cards I'm looking for, are the Michael Jordan Hall of Fame card, and in a PSA 10, this one has recently sold for right around $500. And then I'm also looking for the Michael Jordan All-Star card, the sticker. And that one has actually sold in a PSA 10 for around $1,500 lately. I don't know if that's going to hold up that price, but another thing I need help with you guys on, like I said, I don't grade cards. So I'd really like your input as far as centering, as far as how the cards look, because I am not an expert at all. So if I do pull one of these magical things, I need somebody to tell me whether or not they think that it's worth grading. I'm also looking for Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and some of those other guys. But I would say the Jordans are probably my number 1. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move. And apologies, I need to get I just realized I'm learning that I need a better tripod because my setup here isn't so great. All right, so here is the first pack. One thing I thought was really kind of funny on here, on the back of the pack, it's talking about how you should display and protect your valuable cards with Fleer sports card collecting sheets. I don't know if you can see this or not, but yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. All right, so I'm looking at the pack. It doesn't look to be, and I'm not an expert, okay, so there's glue there. It looks like it doesn't look like it was tampered with, at least not obviously. Ooh, I see a sticker there. Every pack I think has a sticker, so. All right, so I'm just gonna unveil them one at a time. see if we can do it like this. All right, so first we've got Grant Long, forward with the Heat. I can't say I remember Grant. Vern Fleming, guard for the Pacers. Vern Maxwell. I remember him. Old Scottie Pippen. That would be his second-year card. I don't know what those look like, if those are common or not, Rob, but cool card. Scottie Pippen's second year. Reggie Miller's second year. Woo! Nervous. Ed Pinckney. 89 All-Star Game, Dominique Wilkins and Karl Malone. The human highlight reel and the mailman. Good old Spud Webb. 5'8" Spud Webb, who won the dunk contest back in 88, 89. I don't know. It was incredible. Actually, when Spud Webb won the dunk contest, I actually thought, you know what? I could dunk one day. I've never dunked in my life. Eric Floyd, guard with the Rockets. Daryl Griffith, guard with the Utah Jazz. Winston Garland, guard for the Warriors. Second year Dennis Rodman, forward with the then bad boy Detroit Pistons. Walter Davis, guard with the Denver Nuggets. Check out that old logo. Let's see if I can get this a little bit closer. Kevin Johnson, guard for the Suns. He was actually really good, Kevin Johnson. Adrian Dantley, forward with the Mavs, and it looks like our all-star sticker is Patrick Ewing's. That's a cool looking card. I was always, Ewing was a huge rival of the Bulls with the Knicks, back then. So that's an interesting looking card. Good deal. All right, so that is the first pack underway. All right, I'm just going to move these to the side. And we're moving on to the second pack. There were some goodies in there. I mean, there's some second year players, second year cards. All right, and I'm sorry guys, again, I don't have the greatest angle here. Not the best setup, but you know what, we're gonna work on that. It's gonna get better in the future, I promise. All right, so here's the second pack. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right. Okay, we'll move this to the side. All right, first card is, upside down here, 89 All-Star Brad Daugherty. Brad Daugherty was actually a really good player. Mark Price and Larry Nance, I believe. Oh, I have these. Here, let's do this. Okay. Next up, Vinnie Johnson. That's the microwave, Vinnie Johnson. The microwave was his nickname. That dude could flat out shoot 15-foot jumpers all day. Detlef Schrempf. This is a guy that was super underrated back in his time. He's a forward for the Pacers. Another All-Star card. Karl Malone. I think it was Mark Eaton and John Stockton. Bill Laimbeer, probably the most hated man in basketball back then. Nobody liked this guy. Jeff Hornacek. I believe this was later in his career with the Suns. Great player. Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem, as it was spelled out there before he switched it to Hakeem. That's a cool card. Scott Brooks, guard with the Sixers. Hall of Famer Chris Mullin. This is just a pretty looking card with the yellow for the Warriors. Thurl Bailey, forward for the Jazz. I don't remember Thurl. Lafayette Lever, guard for the Nuggets. Paul Pressey, guard for the Milwaukee Bucks. Derek Harper, guard for the Mavs. Byron Scott, guard for the Lakers. Robert Reed, oh my goodness, holy smokes. Sorry, I got a little distracted by the card that's next. Robert Reed, guard with the Hornets. And it was actually the card that we were looking for, folks. So let me just get it to a one-touch. For those that didn't see, that was an 89 Michael Jordan. That's the Fleer All-Star card that we were looking for. Like I said, not an expert, but the centering. I'd have to make a comparison on what the other ones look like. Sorry, this is a bad shot. I'm not giving you guys a good look at it, but if anyone has any input on gradable, not gradable, can I get it closer? Let's see if this is any help. Anyway, comment below or reach out to me directly if possible. Wow. Wow. That is awesome. That is awesome. Okay. Woo. All right, moving on to the last pack here. I'm a little shaky from that. Okay. I'm a little shaky. Ooh, okay. All right, here we go. Last pack. The Mailman, Karl Malone. This would be, I believe, his third-year card. Yeah, his rookie is 86 Fleer, so 87, 88, fourth-year card. Another Vern Maxwell. Another Vern Fleming. John Williams, forward for the Bullets. Mark Aguirre, I remember Mark with the Pistons. Brad Sellers, forward with the Sonics. Derek Chevis, forward for the Rockets. Brian Shaw, guard for the Celtics. This guy is awesome. Manute Bol, I don't know if you remember this guy, if anybody was around. 7'7". Hyped up just because he's so darn tall, but didn't exactly have an amazing NBA career, but just an amazing look. Just the look of this guy on the court, it was incredible. The Human highlight reel, Dominique Wilkins. Michael Adams, guard for the Nuggets. Eric Lechner, center for the Jazz. Orlando Blackman, guard for the Mavericks. Jim Peterson, forward for the Kings. Rex Chapman, guard for the Hornets. And the All-Star card is Magic Johnson. One Magic Johnson. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. Might get the Magic graded as well. I didn't look up to see what sort of comps there are for graded ones. But again, if I'm looking at this, if I'm comparing this to the MJ, I thought that the MJ looked off-centered. But I mean, they actually, maybe they're all kind of a little bit off to the left. I'm not really sure. I have to look at it. Again, if anyone has any input on 89 Fleer basketball, I would love to hear it. Awesome. Wow, I can't believe. Here it is one more time. That's exciting stuff. Thank you again, Chris, for sending me the packs. That's really cool. I had a lot of fun doing that. Like I said, I have not opened packs in a long time, and this was awesome. So it's especially awesome when you pull one of the cards that you're looking for. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hope everyone's having a great Sunday. Remember, don't shy away from the midlife crisis. Embrace the midlife crisis as long as it's something that's positive and healthy and advances your life. Live a happy life, I guess, is the main point. All right. Thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you next time.